John here. If you're based in the UK and you invest in stocks, or if you want to start investing in stocks, then you need a Stocks and Shares ISA. That's a type of stock investing account within which you can buy and sell stocks, but where you don't have to pay any tax on the profit that you make when you sell stocks for more money than you paid for them. This type of tax-free investing account is extremely powerful. You can reinvest your untaxed profits into buying more stocks within the account so that the value of your stock portfolio grows even faster. Normally, outside of an ISA, when you sell a stock for a profit, you have to pay what's called capital gains tax on that profit. If you buy £100 worth of stocks and you later sell those stocks for £110, you've made a £10 profit. You unfortunately don't get to keep the full £10 profit for yourself. However, if you did that exact same thing but within a Stocks and Shares ISA, you wouldn't have to pay any tax on your £10 profit. Paying a bit of tax on your profits might not sound like that big of a deal. You might be thinking, oh, well, it's money I didn't have before, so what's the big deal if I don't get to keep all of it? At least I've got more than I had before. But that little bit of extra money that you'll keep by not paying tax on profits will compound into a significant amount of money over time. The average return of the US stock market has historically been 7 to 10% per year, and you can get that annual return from your stock portfolio just by buying a US broad market index fund like an S&P 500 index fund. If you do that and you get your 7% average annual return without doing any kind of fancy investing strategies, here's what your stock portfolio will look like at ages 18, 30, 40, 50, and 60 if you invest the full £20,000 per year that you're allowed to invest in a Stocks and Shares ISA. And then here's how much your portfolio will be worth if you do the exact same thing, £20,000 invested per year at a 7% annual return, except you don't do it within a Stocks and Shares ISA. And then here's how much you'll have if you just don't invest at all and you keep all of that money in cash. Investing in an ISA in this way is likely to get you a portfolio worth £5.3 million by age 60, but only £3.5 million if you invest without an ISA. Considering that an ISA can be free to have, or sometimes they're just for a low monthly amount, like a few pounds a month, you may as well get that extra £1.8 million by the age of 60 just by investing within an ISA. This is all under the assumption, by the way, that you're paying 20% capital gains tax on your stock gains when you're not investing within an ISA, which is the case for higher earners in the UK. Notice that by investing in this way, whether within an ISA or not, you end up much better off than if you just kept that money in cash savings, where you'd be left with only £860,000 by the age of 60, a relatively small amount compared to if you'd invested that money. If it takes you an entire working lifetime to save up £860,000 in cash savings, then if you end up with a £5.3 million portfolio by just investing the money in an ISA instead, then that's the same amount of money as if you'd worked for 6 lifetimes. Now here's the same chart with all the same circumstances, except where if you'd got a 10% annual average return instead of a 7% one, 10% being the higher of what's thought to be the US stock market's average annual return. You'll end up with a stock portfolio worth £13 million by the age of 60 if you invest the maximum amount each year in a Stocks and Shares ISA, or £7.1 million if you invest without an ISA. And of course, the same amount of cash as before, £860,000, because that's what you get when you save £20,000 per year in a bank account with no or next to no interest rate. Remember how I said at the start of the video how those small tax savings in an ISA might not seem like a big deal, but that over time will compound into a significant amount of money? Investing in an ISA in this case makes a £5.9 million difference by the age of 60, all for just investing within a tax-sheltered account using the easy method of buying broad market index funds. So that's the easy method, but what if you're confident in picking individual stocks to invest in and those stocks end up going on to do well? Maybe you end up averaging more than 7 to 10% per year. Maybe you end up averaging 15% per year. And that's not Warren Buffett territory, who averages 20% plus per year. 15% per year is somewhere in between the passive index fund investor and the elite investor. With a 15% annual return, by the age of 60, your portfolio will be worth over £62 million if you invest within an ISA. A stock portfolio of that size could easily give you a monthly passive income of £156,000. That's per month, not per year. £156,000 per month, and that will be tax-free. There's no income tax when you take money out of an ISA. You can get a stable monthly income from a stock portfolio by selling off all the stocks within your ISA and then reinvesting all of that money into dividend-paying stocks that pay out about 3% per year. But like I said, a 15% annual return to get that £62 million portfolio isn't going to happen for every investor. A £5 to £13 million portfolio, however, as we've seen, is completely feasible for any any investor. That is, if you're able to put away £20,000 per year from a relatively early age, which you can do if you just grind out working a decent paying job and you don't waste your money on nonsense and you invest it instead, or if you do my preferred way of starting a business or a side business and you make that extra £20,000 that you need to invest from the business. You just need to invest £20,000 per year into US broad market index funds and get you 7 to 10% annual average return. And then when the time comes to start taking income from your stock portfolio, you just sell off all your stocks within the ISA and then reinvest all of that money into dividend stocks that pay out about 3% per year. Reaching a £5 million portfolio with a 7% annual return will give you a monthly income of about £13,000, or reaching a £13 million portfolio with a 10% annual return will give you a monthly income of £33,000, completely tax-free and completely passively. So how do you get yourself one of these stocks and shares ISAs? You can open one if you're a UK resident and you're aged 18 or over. They're free to open, but some investment platforms charge a monthly fee to keep the account open. The platform that I use is called Freetrade. They don't charge any fees for buying or selling stocks, and you can invest in UK and US stocks, including broad market index funds. You can open up your own ISA by signing up to Freetrade using the link down in the description. And when you do use that link down in the description, you'll get a free stock once you've opened your account and deposited just £1, and it could be worth all the way up to £200. There are two types of accounts that I have with Freetrade. I have a stocks and shares ISA, but I also have a normal account where I may have to pay capital gains tax on any profits that I make from selling stocks. The rule is that you can put up to £20,000 into a stocks and shares ISA in one tax year. In the UK, the tax year starts on the 6th of April. It's just like a regular year, except it starts on the 6th of April instead of the 1st of January. If you have some money saved away that you want to invest in stocks, or that you might want to invest in stocks in the future, it might be worth putting that money into a stocks and shares ISA now. You don't have to invest that money. You can just keep it as cash within the ISA, and you can take it out at any time that you need it. But at least if it's in the ISA, you can use that money to benefit from tax-free investing at any time that you choose. If you have, say, £40,000 that you know you want to invest in stocks, and then you wait until the next tax year, you'll only be able to put in £20,000 into your ISA to invest with tax-free. Whereas if you put £20,000 in right now in this tax year, and then the other £20,000 in the next tax year, you'll have it all available within the ISA. The more money that you're able to get into your ISA by taking advantage of each tax year's £20,000 allowance, the more money that you're going to have available to invest, and therefore the larger the gains that you're going to be able to get without paying any tax on them. Any cash and stocks that you have with Freetrade are protected up to £85,000 by the Financial Services Compensation Scheme, also known as the FSCS. That means that if Freetrade goes bust for any reason, you'll get all your money back that you had with them up to £85,000, no questions asked. But that does mean that you don't really want to keep more than £85,000 worth of cash and stocks with Freetrade at any one time, nor do you want to keep more than £85,000 with any investment platform, or any bank for that matter, because they all have that £85,000 protection cap. Your options are that you can continue investing more money with Freetrade above £85,000 and just hope that they don't go bust, or as the value of your assets with Freetrade approaches £85,000, you can open a new ISA with a different unrelated investing platform, get a separate £85,000 worth of protection and invest with that platform instead. An ISA rule that I've not mentioned yet is that you can only put money into one stocks and shares ISA in any given tax year. So when the new tax year rolls around on the 6th of April, it's up to you to decide if you're going to invest more money in one of your existing ISAs, or if you're going to open a new ISA with a different investing platform and invest your money there. I'd say that the ideal scenario to keep your assets protected under that £85,000 threshold is to invest up to £20,000 in any one ISA. This way, your invested £20,000 can double in value, and then double in value again to £80,000 worth of stocks, and still be protected under the £85,000 protection threshold. So you'll end up with a bunch of different stocks and shares ISAs spread all over the place on different investing platforms, each of which can double in value twice, and you'll still be 100% protected in the event of any of the investing platforms going bust. When the value of your assets within an ISA does approach £85,000 and you don't want it to go above that protected threshold, you can just sell off some of the stocks and take the money out. Just because you've taken money out of your ISA doesn't mean that you can't invest it in something else. That was a lot of information that I've just thrown at you, so I'll give you the highlights here. If you want to invest in stocks, which I recommend that you do over keeping your money in cash, you definitely want to be doing that within a stocks and shares ISA. If you invest from age 18 or even from your early 20s in US broad market index funds and you get 7 to 10% per year, and you manage to invest £20,000 per year into your ISA, you'll almost guaranteed end up with a stock portfolio worth over £1 million by age 40 and over £10 million by age 60. And you can can then use that stock portfolio to get a tax-free passive income of tens of thousands of pounds per month. Just make sure to spread your assets across multiple investing platforms to keep them protected in the unlikely event of any of the platforms going bust. My favourite investing platform is Freetrade. You can get a free stock worth all the way up to £200 if you open an account with them using the link down in the description. Just open your account, deposit £1, and then you'll get your free stock. And then once you have a normal account open with them, you can open an ISA and you can start benefiting from tax-free investing. This is Debt to Millionaire. Subscribe.